Guys, my name is Nonima Dikela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today the court, everything that happened, it was too much. I thought the first tea time was boring and everything, but lunchtime, by the time we got to lunchtime, oh my God. Anyway, let me get through my notes quickly. So today, one of the most what if the most powerful evidence in court was already seen before the story was written? That is what we got today, Kesana. What if the photos, the ones we are told don't lie, photos don't lie, were actually used to build the narrative first? Hear me out. So today, in the sense of Meyiwa made a trial, the courtroom didn't just hear evidence, it witnessed a battle over the truth itself. And at the center of it all, photos. Sanalab, photos, Kesan. The state came in very confident as usual. Yes, clear, direct, unshaken. They told the court through a cross-examination with Ubongani Datsi. The photos show they were showing who accused number 3. Okay, but they were showing they show accused number 3 with a hairstyle that matches. No, it was accused number 2. They were dealing with that DN camp. Actually, they were dealing with that Baibizan ID kit. I think that was the ID kit, because Untanzi goes on to say unenwele lo muntu mina ngikaze ngaba nama-dreads, ugqoke into ezimnyama lo muntu, and angikaze mina ngaba angazi who is this person. Those were the photos from the ID kit Kesana that they were dealing with. Okay, everything Jebona, they thought it matches, the identity is obvious according to them, there's no dispute, right? To them it was that simple. Okay, visual proof, and locked in, Kesana, clocked in, locked in. So they were like, we are cruising nicely, we are doing this, because in their words, photos don't lie. Sharp. It looked like the state had just closed the door on the identity forever. They were like, I was telling you. But there, something happened. Undanzi was like, hang on a sec. There's something that I just remembered. Because one of the issues here is that Ubaloyi keeps going back to the story, Sigazungu, the constable. And the system destroying the story. When we tell him stop repeating things, he thinks we are being nasty, naughty, and what naughty. We say Monela, we are being jealous. Once again, they got exposed by Undanzi, a high school bloody dropout. Oh my word. When I say it, I've never seen myself being so proud because someone dropped out and still maintained ubu clever. Undanzi is very smart, intelligent, guys. I guess as much as he's not blessed levels, so Miss Zeza type, no school formed against me is gonna make me dumb. Okay, no school dropping out is gonna make me dumb. Okay, because when Danzi stood up and was like, I remember quite well, his statement is Gazungu, sasithetha nge-photos. As upper court, prosecution is the one that is supposed to be dealing with. And then the defense, when they were listening to this, they could hear man Uramsipile got up and started talking. Undanzi is trying to say, and Baloyi is manipulating that. And then Ujadrata, as per usual, he stood for Baloyi, and then Umnisi came in. When the defense stood up, hell broke loose. When the defense stood up, hell broke loose, Kesana. Everything changed. They didn't attack the photos. No, they attacked how those photos entered the story. They dealt with that. They pointed to something very simple, but devastating. They asked, how does a witness write a statement and already refer to specific photos, their numbering, their existence, And this is exactly what Ntanzi was asking. And they acted, the judge and Baloyi acted as if they were not understanding. And the defense was like, hold my beer, you are not doing that. You are going to answer this one. You are going to put us in line. What is going, let's all align. What's going on here? Before those photos are even properly introduced to court. So what you mean? Because they now, from that situation, there was a back and forth, and Ubaloyi referred, no, the pictures, we spoke about them in June. Ubaloyi thinks that he is smart. Were like, awusenzeli loo nto. Awusenzeli loo nto. Because uZungu, the constable, wrote a statement 31st or 30 May 2023. And then he came in court late August to September. So you don't come here and say, thina ngoJune. Ebezibonaphi. Why was he even seeing them? Was the question, Gesan. Why was he seeing them? Was the question. Because what they are really, let that sink in. Ukuthi defense was like ashlanyiti. We know exactly what we are seeing, what we are hearing, and what Mtanzi is saying. We are hearing exactly that. Now, because what they were really saying is this, the witness didn't just remember. He may have been shown. So that means uZungu put there photo number exactly as it is said in court, the prosecutor. So why would Zungu say that? Ujudge Ratha tried and abameli were like, awusitsheli lokho uzobuya. Now, one of the most exclusive implications of that is that if that is true, then we are no longer dealing with pure recollection. We are dealing with something else here, something bigger. We are dealing with corruption, crooked ways, okay? A possibility that the evidence came first and the story came later, and a narrative was built around the photos, not the other way around, no. And suddenly, those same photos, the state relied on them, became the center of suspicion. Njani, make it make sense. That is where now the defense is fighting. Then Judge Ratha steps in, Nyamazike, firm, direct an apology, and he tries to shut it down. He says, there is nothing wrong with the state consulting with witnesses. They are allowed to show them evidence. They are allowed to prepare them. Who said they are not allowed? And he knew exactly what was being said. And in that moment, the courtroom shifted because the judge made it clear where he is standing. He said it is not misconduct. This is standard legal practice, but he also reminded everyone of one critical rule, that evidence must be led properly in court. Now, that's where the danger is, because it defense, including Ubonga and Ntanzi, what they are questioning is actually misconduct, and Judge Ratha admitted to that. Because now, two completely different realities were clutching the state's reality. Preparation is normal. Witnesses can be shown evidence. There is no problem. The defense's reality, that preparation may have been shaped, may have shaped the testimony itself. And if testimony is shaped, then we are really hearing, what are we really hearing in this courtroom? What's going on? Memory or a rehearsed version of events? And that's where they were. Now, there is a crisis in that situation, even though everything was just in the open, Gesana. But this is where something even deeper, this is where there was something even deeper, something most people perhaps missed. The defense hinted that not all photos were properly used in court. Some appeared late, some were referenced before being introduced. And that creates a serious legal problem, because in criminal matters or in criminal trials, evidence must be disclosed properly, introduced properly, tested properly. If not, it opens the door to one word, unfairness, and that is where we are. It showed unfairness, and unfairness is the kind of issue that doesn't just affect the trial. It can destroy a conviction on appeal. And I hope today is one of those days that is sitting there ready, should there be a need for an appeal, which I pray there isn't. So now, the entire courtroom is left with one question. Did the witness identify the accused because he remembered or because he was shown? Zungu's Junior, because those are not the same thing. Not even close, Kesan. One is evidence, the other is influence. Which one happened? Who was influencing who there? Was it Zungu himself? Because the police are saying he's the one that brought the story to us. So what was going on there? What was Zungu's angle? What was his end goal? What was Zungu's end goal in this entire situation is the question that we are asking at this point, because what's going on here? What's going on here? And this is why today matters, because this wasn't just about photos. This was about how evidence is built, how stories are formed, and whether the truth is being discovered or constructed. Because if the defense is right, then the biggest evidence in this trial may not be the photos themselves, but how they were used. So that's where the defense was today. And I was happy that the defense was not even scared of Ujadrat. Siabuya in a new video where we talk about what Ujadrat tried to do and. Thank you so much. I'll see you on our next video. Bye-bye.